Hello, everybody. I am a Sheree. This is a Nightmare on Fear Street, and this is In Theory, a Hard Eyes review. It's going to be a quick spoiler-free one because my co-host can't see it until this weekend, and he will try to fight me if I say too much, so we can't talk about it together on mic. So if you want a more detailed situation for Hard Eyes, or an episode, I guess is what we would call that, you can check us out on our Patreon when there'll be a video later this weekend, in theory. And we'll drop the audio onto the main feed later in life. But anyways, Hard Eyes hits theaters now. Like, she's out for a lot of us right here, right now. But tomorrow she gets her wide release, and it's gonna be bloody. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. So if you're looking for all of the good juicy details, this is not gonna be this video. Thank you for watching. Our synopsis for little Mr. Hard Eyes. For the past several years, the Hard Eyes Killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering romantic couples. This Valentine's Day, no couple is safe. ... The ellipses let you know it's fucking serious. We're fucking about business, and we fucking are. I'm gonna say the fuck word if this is your first time on our channel. I'm not sorry, but you should know. Anyways, one of the things I really enjoy about Hard Eyes is that it wastes no time getting to the gore. It introduces itself. It's like, hello, I'm funny, I'm charming, we're gonna kill people. Are you cool with that? And I'm like, yes, I am. Thank you. I've been waiting. So we have a rhythm, we have an energy, like off top. I want to say everything happened in such quick succession, but I want to say I looked the third victim in the eyes, and I knew we were in for something. I knew this was magic. I knew this was my Thunderdome. I knew I was in the right place. I don't like going to the theater because I don't like people, but I was happy to be there with the people gasping and like clutching their pearls as I giggled, and I will never forget that. Anywho's, I also just really love that I spend a lot of time screaming about pacing in movies. I spend a lot of time screaming about things that are going too slow and taking too much time for things. This movie never really takes its foot fully off the gas pedal, even when it's like, we have to have this beat, we have to have this moment. We're still moving. The car is never in park, it's never in break. It's just like, hi, we're gonna coast for a second, but are you looking both ways? You should be. There's violence. And again, I'm a violence girl. I love it. It's great. So like, if you've not been living under a rock, you know it's a romantic slasher. That's what it's being billed as. I think there's some other subgenres in there, but I'm not gonna do its big three like here, like the sun, moon, and rising, because that'd be rude. That's some like full-on content shit. However, what I don't think any of us expected or knew to expect was how well it would navigate all of the subgenres it's playing with. Completely different genres, in fact, some of them you would say. I have no words. And so like, you get this really weird mixture of like this really romantic, sincere situation while we're also gutting the good people and like doing the bloodshed, and how those blend together and meld is kind of really, it's kind of interesting because we see a lot of people try to merge two different things and fail epically, because they end up just sort of coasting off of people's charms, and a lot of us are not into that anymore. I need you to give me what you said you were going to do, and Hard Eyes does. Boots to the ground immediately. We're ripping people open, we're falling in love. Like, it's amazing. It's a moment we need. Yeah. I I also appreciate that it does respect and honor that each of the things it's doing has specific beats to make it work. So like, if you're a slasher girly like I am, you are watching your full slasher happen. But if you're a rom-com girl, which I'm not, but Trentington is, you're watching that movie happen, and they're happening simultaneously, and they're influencing each other in like this really cool give and take equal measure situation. And so nobody feels left out for too long. Like, you could be having your guts ripped out over here, and like, we're having a really beautiful moment right here, and they can coexist. Or vice versa. Again, like, if you are not a rom-com person, I hate them. And I was rooting for this couple. I was like, if you two survive this with enough of your pieces intact, you deserve happiness. You deserve love. I hope you make it. But also, Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding are just like really charming actors, and I'm excited to see them playing roles that are slightly older than we're used to. Just because like they've been in high school and college for a very long time. And again, if you have the great genes, you could do that. You can. I pretend to be 25 for like 84 years. My genes are not half as good. So get it. But also, I just love seeing them aged up a little bit. It's like, hey, they are adults, remember? But anywho's back to these things because again, I'm doing bigger things, themes, and overalls because we're gonna do a special episode later when I have my co-host with me. So the kids who watched Freaky, like a lot of us watched the hell out of Freaky. So you know what Michael Kennedy and Christopher Landon are about to get into. You know when they're left with their own devices, that shit is sick, that shit is gross, that shit is violent and fun, and we love it. And so I love that we see that on display, and we also put the Josh Ruben battery in its back because he's directing this. I can't lie, like that cranked it up to a 20. And I think one of the reasons why this movie works so well for so many of us is because the people that we know involved and what they're capable of, all of that feels represented, but it also feels like it's leveled up, you know? It's like, oh yeah, that feels like a Michael Kennedy moment. That feels like a Christopher Landon moment. That feels very Josh Ruben, but it's like cranked up. I keep doing the hands. I don't know why my hands are doing things today. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm an independent woman. Anywho's, back to this movie. I think that one of the things I like about Josh Ruben's direction is that he really excels at directing horror movies that need 19 descriptors and none of them should work together. Like the more the movie makes no fucking sense, the better the product is gonna be. Like I have been noting that just in like the horror stuff he's directed. And I think that's fun because again, the impossible movies deserve to get made because they turn out bangers when they're put into the right hands. I cannot think of a better team for this movie that wears its heart on its sleeve while it tells you some jokes and then like guts people. Like some of the kills are so sick. Like I've not seen shit this sick in a hot minute, and I'm a violence girly. So I have been begging for more people to get like just completely destroyed. I will not be unpacking that for this. No. But like the kills are amazing, the kills are stunning. It's almost like murder improv because it's always a yes and so you're like, oh, it's done. It's not done. Oh my god, it's not done. And I live for those moments. This is not the year I will be putting my name in anybody's hat to write their best kills of 2025, just because I don't know if I could pick 5 from Hard Eyes. So like, what are these other movies gonna do? Can they do any of this? I do not know. I would like to know, actually. I would like to see them try. Yes. But I don't know if they can. There's also some really cool visual stuff happening, but this is getting long and I don't want it to go over 10 minutes. So I'm gonna here we go. I've been thinking a lot about Wes Craven lately, in his later era and how he established these heightened realities that gave us the rules and then he went to work. And Hard Eyes feels like it's in that arena of the later years Wes Craven. It feels like it's in our world, but it's not our world. It's this third random cool thing that's fun, it's smarter than it should be, and you can't get enough of it. It's almost like a horror catnip for those of us who love horror a little bit too much, you know? Like you walk out and you're a little bit like, oh my God, life is worth living. Oh, I'm happy I was outside. And I'm never happy to be outside because again, I don't like people. I also think that part of the reason this movie particularly is hitting me in my I miss Wes Craven era is because it knows its rails and it's going to make you think it's going to like leap over them. It's going to threaten you to be like, oh my God, look at me. I'm putting a toe up there. But it's never going to go off of the rails. It's going to instead spin around and do something you did not expect it to do. And that is fun and it's exciting and it's electric. And I think that I think that's why some of us are losing our shit over this movie. I'm not going to get too far into Hard Eyes, but also he is a moment. He is a moment. Everything about him, from the mask to the boots, I am about it. I'm about the stance. I'm about the posture. I'm about the tools. I'm about the Batman-esque tools that he brings with him to the situations. I'm in love with Hard Eyes. Yes, I am. I said it. I'm healing. I'm on a healing journey here. Anywho's, I like most horror nerds, I knew who was here. I knew who was going to be here. And so, because of that, I knew what they were capable of. And I did the foolish thing of walking in with very high expectations. And luckily for me, those high expectations were not high enough because this movie, like, fucking killed it. It killed it in so many ways I did not understand and was not prepared for. If I could afford pearls as a millennial, I would have clutched them a couple times. So, with that in mind, I keep thinking this is a 4.5, but also it might be a 5, and I'm just a commitment phobic bitch. And so, if you catch that later episode with my co-host and I say 5, I know, and I've probably already read myself if you really listen to the episode. But not only am I giving it 4.5, I'm giving it 4.5 glasses of the finest champagne, because once Hard Eyes is done fucking up this establishment, I'm not paying for anything because no one's gonna be alive. Thanks, Hard Eyes. Anywho's, again, this was a quick and dirty review. If you want something more nuanced and a little bit more conversational, you can check in with us when we put up our video on our Patreon. Our Patreon starts at $2, and we're going to start it there because a lot of the people in our Patreon are fans of all of these people in this movie, all the people behind the scenes of this movie, Tony Gardner. And so it feels fair to let everybody have it. So you can give us $2 and you can see our faces, me and my co-host, me in a different wig, probably, maybe. I don't know. I'm in my red era. And we will get into it because we're intersectional podcast and this is a quality fucking movie and we have cool things to talk about, and that doesn't happen often enough, and that's a different rant I will probably say for that episode as well. If you agree with some of my ramblings, or if you can disagree respectfully, you can leave a comment. If you cannot disagree respectfully, you don't have to say anything, because why? Know thyself, friends. Know thyselves. I would like to send a shout out to Film North for alerting me that Minnesota was getting an early screening of this because I was able to snag a ticket for the Freeskies. We're an independent podcast. We love getting access to stuff so we can review it because, again, independent podcasts don't make money. Did you know this? Did you know this? No, we don't. So thank you, good friends. And if Trent were here, he would say to stay fierce out there. And I'm going to say bye.